In this video, we'll be having a look at the landing gear assembly, and the focus is our strut. Okay, so we're going to have a look at the strut and how we can accurately model this using Creo Parametric. So let's head on over to a new part file. Okay guys, before we start making this part, we're going to review the engineering drawing, just kind of get an idea as to some of the shapes that we need to be generating when we go into the CAD. This is quite a complex part, and it does require a combination of steps. So you are going to have to do some revolving, and you are going to have to use extrusions. And the order in which you do things will impact on how fast you can get this component modeled. Okay, now I could break this down really into 3 areas that we need to focus on. So the first area is going to be this region here. Okay, so I'm just going to hash this in kind of a blue color. So this region here is what we're going to focus on. And you can see it from the side view just here as well. So this region. So what you really need to do for this part is first of all focus on the side profile. So you draw out the side profile. So everything's been given to you for the side profile. And then you can draw out the outline of that side profile. And then you need to extrude it out 25. That will give you a solid block effectively that's covering basically this area here. It'll be a rectangle, but with this side profile. And then we need to use some other extrusions in order to basically remove these shapes here. So we're going to have to remove this section here, this section here, in order to get the blue outline of that shape. So we do that, we'll use an extrusion, then we use some extrusion cuts to remove that material. Okay. You might be saying, oh, how come you're removing the material here? Well, that's going to have to be a secondary process. Okay, because it's circular, we won't be able to use an extrusion to cut that through. So we'll have to add that back on once we've removed it. Okay, so that would be another step that needs to be undertaken. Okay, so let's go back to my pen. So yeah, the next step, so once you've got that shape, you'll then add in the circle there, so we know that the diameter for that is 6.5, and then we can just extrude that in again the required amount so that it fills in this central section. Okay, so once we've worried about this top section, we can then start to think about the bottom. Okay, so this bottom half here, fairly straightforward actually. So once you've got that top bit, that's probably the difficult bit. This is the more straightforward section. So if we have a look at this, it's going to be a revolve. So we've got a center line here. And so what we're going to need to do is just draw the outline of this. And then we can revolve it around that center line. So, and then we'll get our nice spherical radius on the top, and everything's been well dimensioned up here for us. So we know all of the profile heights. Okay. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 major sketches in order to generate this component. We'll worry about the rounds and things like that afterwards, to be honest. Okay, let's head over to Creo and see how we can get this modeled up. Okay guys, let's have a look at how we can model this strut. Let's load up Creo. Okay, let's set our working directory again and start a new file. So this is going to be engd06. I'm going to untick the default template, click OK. Let's go to millimeters, part solid abs. Okay. All right, so first thing we're going to do on this component is kind of the top section. So there's a revolved bit that we'll leave till last, but there's a top section that we need to model. And we're going to do that from the side view, okay? So we're going to click on this right plane, click Sketch, and Sketch View. And I'm actually going to use this center point to start. So we're going to draw a circle, and the diameter here needs to be 6.5. Right, and then what happens with this is it steps out and then carries on level at 10 millimeters. Okay, so let's go. Let's just start by drawing a line here. See how we get on. Okay, so this point to there should be 20. This should be 5. And then this needs to be 30, I believe. Yes. And so what we can do is just use a line tool now and join that up to there, like that, so it's tangent to it. We delete this bit that we don't need. See that there's some, okay, that's fine. I just need to copy these, so I'm going to press Control, highlight them both, and then click Mirror, and click the center line. We've got them both the other side as well now. So that's pretty much well set up. We're just going to join these together, just there like that. And then what we're going to do is delete the bits of the circle we don't need just there. Okay. You can see there's a little bit there that we need to get rid of as well. I'm just going to zoom in and get rid of those bits. Okay, I'm going to add this through hole as well. So what's that need to be? 2. Okay, so we're going to click OK here. And then what we need to do now is extrude this out. So we're going to go extrude, and it just needs to be 25. Okay, so we're not really close yet, to be honest. But what we'll do is we need to do some extrusions to cut out the shape for this kind of weird U-bendy bit that's there. So we're going to click on this plane here. So this top plane. Click Sketch and then Sketch View. Okay, it's changed the orientation. So let's go orientation, set horizontal reference. I'm going to set that one horizontal. And then I'm going to also flip the sketching plane as well, just so that I can match how the drawing's representing it. So let's use the line tool, draw a line down here. Okay, so this distance here from this edge to here needs to be 4.5. So I'm using the dimension tool to override. And then we've got, what have we got? Let's make it so that it's 0 here. No, not 0, just there. We want to make it so that this is in line with that top edge. So I'm going to go dimension there to there. Change that to 0. Okay. And now what we need to do is set this dimension to 15. Okay, it's looking good. And what we have now is an angle. So there's an angle just here, and you can see it's already picked that up for me. If it doesn't, I can just override it. I'll go there to there to there. So that should be 146. Okay. Now what we have to do is use the offset tool. So we're going to click on the offset tool, click on this plane, and that should be 4.5, 4.5, like that. Okay. Oops. Oh. So with the offset tool, you have to make sure you click the tick button. So that's the tick, and that should be 4.5. Okay. So now we just need to join this up. So that carries on down to there. Carries on to there. Then we'll snap to that edge to there. Edge to there. Okay. And then we can use the line tool here, there, to there. So let's just delete some of these bits that we don't need anymore. So we don't need that. Okay, that's good. Looks like I've got a bit of an issue down here. Okay, let's delete this segment. Just there. Okay, so that should give us the outline of this shape now. Click OK. Then we're going to extrude symmetrically to remove that material. Okay, that's looking good. So we've got that section. Let's change it so we've got shading with edges so we can see all the edges that are attached there. Okay, so there's a radius that should be added to this edge here actually. You can see that on the drawing. So I'm just going to add that now. So there's a round here. So that should be 6. Both sides there. Okay. Anything else? Okay, so this is a radius as well, and this is a radius, so they're both rounds. So let's put those on. So that's 6, and so is that as well. All right, looking good. And so the next thing that I'm going to do is just actually draw so there's like a round bar that attaches from here. So there's a number of ways to do that, but let's go on this face here. Go sketch view. Okay, it's fine, we can do it there. So we're going to use the circle tool and we're just going to match that and that. Okay, so I've drawn it on that face. I'm going to click OK. Then we're just going to click extrude. And this is where we can use one of these drop-down menus to help us. So I'm going to go to reference and then click on that face. And you can see that it will just extrude it through to that face for me. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Let's take this part now and mirror it. So I'm going to click the mirror button and click on this plane. So you can see we've got that section complete. And now we just need to worry about this bottom part. Okay, so this is the whole kind of central section. And we're going to use a revolve for that. So I'm going to click on this plane here, go sketch view. And what we need to do is put the base in place. So we're going to put a baseline here so we can set that distance nicely. So there, from the center line of that circle to the base should be 103. That's good. And diameter for this section is 9.5. So we can do that quite easily. That should be 9.5 divided by 2. And then we come up here, and then it steps out a little bit, and then we go up again. Just go up there somewhere. Doesn't matter, we can change the dimensions later. So that needs to be 11. And then the outer diameter here, so let's add a dimension from there to there. So that's 13 divided by 2, 6.5. Okay. And then the top of this, we're going to use a circle. So we're just going to put circle here. Do that. So that should be 6. That's 6.5. That's 6.5. So we can make that tangent. And then we need to set the distance. So the distance from here to here is from the drawing 63.5. Okay. Just like that. Now, as I'm revolving, I only need half of this circle, so I'm going to get rid of that half. I don't need that bit of line. I don't need that either. Okay, and then we're just going to use the line tool and join this up. So when we revolve, we draw half section view. So I've got the half section mostly. I'll do the cutout afterwards, I think. And then we also need a center line. So I'm going to put the center line in here like that. Click OK. So I've got the sketch with my center line. I'm going to click revolve. You can see that I've added that in nicely now. And so that gives us the spherical radius on the top here nicely. Okay. What else? So we've got a cutout at the bottom. So it's 8mm diameter by 30. So we could just use the hole tool there. So we're going to click on the axis. So that needs to be 8. And it's 30 is the depth. And we're going to break this surface. So I'm going to click Control and select that surface. So you can see, you could do this with an extrusion, just draw a circle and extrude it back. I'm just showing you how to use the hole tool as well. Okay, so we've got that. What else do we need now? Okay, so we've got some radiuses that we need to add onto this. So we're going to go round. So 3mm. So this one is 3 just here. Just here. Just here. I think that one might be a bit bigger. Let's have a look. We'll see. Okay, so we've got 3mm radiuses there. Everything else looking good. Yep, I think we've done everything else. Let's see what the analysis tells us. So measure volume. Okay, 118. Okay, so my mass is a little bit low. So it probably means that that round that I put in was incorrect. So I'm just going to go back here, edit definition, and remove that round and that round. Okay. And then we're going to put a different radius in here. So we'll go model, round, and we'll click on that edge, change this to 6. Yeah, I think that looked better. Click OK. Let's have a look at that now. Analysis, measure, volume. Yeah, 11816.5. So that's it. That's perfect now. So that component's now completed to spec, and we'll just change the color. So we'll go view, appearance, more appearances, color wheel. Let's go blue color. This one. There we go. Change that to parts. Middle mouse click. So we've got that part completed. Let's have a look at it in all its glory. There we go. All sorted. And let's remember to save. So I'm going to save that. Okay, so that's that component completed to specification.